Good morning, everyone. My name is Rob Richardson, and I'm a member of the board here at Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. On behalf of the board and the program council, it's my honor to welcome you here this morning. As we enter into this space today, know that you're surrounded by love, the love of this community where all is welcome. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. If this is your first time here or your 121st time, if you are here in the building or watching online, you are welcome. So let's say hi to those online. All right. If you would like more information about our church, please fill out the visitor card in the packet in front of you or on our website at tvuuc.org and select Stay in Touch. If you're interested in the religious exploration classes for your children or adult RE for yourself here at TVUUC, please visit the RE hallway after the service, through the double doors, past the kitchen, and speak to an RE leader. You can also find more information on our website or at the RE welcome table in the gallery. If you need any accessibility aids during the service, such as large print hymnal, hearing devices, or noise-canceling headphones, those can be found on the cart near the welcome table in the lobby. Our ushers will be glad to show you one or collect one for you. Our ushers are also able to provide guidance around the building if you are a newer visitor and need help locating restrooms, exits, or other areas of our building. If you're visiting with small children, we invite you to sit up front where it's easier for your little ones to see what's going on. Please don't feel that you must keep them still. All are welcome here, and we understand that silence is never really completely silent. You should also feel free to change seats at any time during the service if you need to move around or to stretch your legs. If you or your children need to step out of the sanctuary for a moment, the E.E. Cummings room is this glass room over here that is a little more soundproof if that's what's needed. Okay, we have a few announcements this morning. Join us at 1 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall for marches for UUM on staying hopeful while staying informed. We will explore whether media negativity is intentional, how to counter doomerism, and ways to protect our inner peace while remaining engaged and effective. Come share the practices that help you hold on to the hope when the world feels heavy. Childcare is available at this gathering. Please note that we have fewer staff in the building this week. Those who will be here, thank you in advance for your patience as we navigate a lighter schedule. This weekly newsletter will still go out as usual, and submissions are due Monday evening. Although the 2026 pledge drive has ended, you can still submit your intended support for the 26-27 fiscal year. Pledge cards are available on the welcome table in the lobby. We're grateful for the generosity of this community and look forward to continuing the important work of TVUUC together. All right. Today's Share the Plate offering supports Justice Knox, a grassroots interfaith coalition working for systemic justice in our community. Ways to give are listed in the order of service, including a QR code that will take you directly to the giving page. If you're watching online, please click the blue Give button on your screen. After the service, join us for coffee and conversation in the Fellowship Hall. If you're visiting and would like a tour of the building or have any questions about the church, look for me, and I'll be glad to chat and show you around. If you have questions about the path to membership, I'd be happy to introduce you to our prospective member coordinator, Mark Mahandro. And now, if you've not already done so, please silence your electronic devices as we enter worship together.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Laura Bogle. I am one of your community ministers, which means I'm not on staff here, but my ministry is out in the community. It does mean that this is my home base, though, and so I'm really grateful that I get to be part of the service this morning, and I am so excited to introduce to you all some really special musical leaders who are joining us this morning. There is a brand new Singing Resistance Knoxville group here, and they are with us this morning along with our wonderful choir, and there's some overlap there, as you might imagine, to lead us in song. You can put your hymnals aside for the morning. That's all I will say. And I want to invite Ari Rakestraw, one of the organizers, forward to tell us a little bit more.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Good morning. My name is Ari. I'm one of the organizers for Singing Resistance Knoxville. As Laura alluded to, we have been in existence less than a month. And so I know probably folks that exist on social media, I am not one of those people, have maybe seen some of the singing and musical resistance and protest work coming out of Minneapolis. And so Singing Resistance started as a grassroots movement of singers coming together to oppose rising authoritarianism in these times. And it's just caught on like wildfire. The reason I'm here is I joined a Zoom call with like a couple thousand other people who were just really moved by that work of showing up in action and protest and doing so in song and using song as a tool of resistance and community building. And also I think what appealed to me in this time is using song as a tool to sustain us in what is really hard work as somebody who is an organizer. That's a technology that has existed and that we know from the civil rights movement that really doesn't feel as present in at least a lot of the spaces that I'm in. So we're excited to be here. Come join us. We're going to be having bi-weekly singing circles, I think theoretically maybe at the Knox Pride Resource Center. They haven't said yes to our dates we requested. So coming up soon, probably on the 15th and 29th on Sunday afternoon, 2 to 4, we'll be having singing circles, and then definitely having a presence at No Kings on the 28th this month. And what else did I want to say about Singing Resistance before we do some actual singing? So what we're going to be offering, I guess, to the community is not like being a brand new thing, but being a space where people can gather and build community and learn song together, and then really encouraging folks to take those tools and plug into the work that's already happening in Knoxville. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to sing some songs and show up at protests and actions and vigils together as a group. Yeah, and I think that's all I want to say. Cool. All right, I'll stop talking and we'll sing some songs. So, are we jumping into singing? Okay, cool. So the first song we're going to be singing is Hold On, and the way that we're going to do this morning, a lot of the Singing Resistance songs, they have a songbook full of really great, easy to learn by ear songs that are largely sung a cappella. And so we went through them a couple times with the choir this morning. And so we're going to sing one time. I'll sing, and the choir can sing with me, sing one time, and then we'll jump into singing together. And choir/singing resistance folks, if you want to spread out and like stand up as we sing, that would be great, just so folks can hear. Okay, so the first song we're going to do is called Hold On. Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Feel free to jump in. Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Hold We'll sing one more time. Hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Great. We're excited to sing with you all this morning.
Good morning. My name is Mark Mohundro. I am the prospective new member and outreach coordinator. If you want more information about the church, please fill out a guest card up at the welcome table. Our opening words today are from the Reverend Elizabeth Nguyen. To be a Unitarian Universe means that the work will never be done. The work of telling the truth about oppression, the work of resisting any laws, policies, or practices that deny anyone their humanity. The work of stubbornly seeking out the spark of the divine in each other, no matter what. The work of creating heaven on earth. To be a Unitarian Universalist also means that we're not alone in the work. We are not alone because of our promises to love one another. We are not alone because we are companions on the journey. We grow ourselves into allies, helping one another get free. Because none of us is truly free until we are all free. Come, let us worship together.
Y'all a song by call and response, and okay. I'm going to teach y'all a song by call and response. I'm glad you stood up. We are here, with our voices, our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through. We are here, with our city, our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through. We are here, with our children, our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through. We are here, with our neighbors, our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through. We are here, with our courage, our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through. We are here, with each other, our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each
Hello again. Hello to everybody down here and everybody out there and everybody up there. Hi. When Catherine gets back, you can tell her that she's super cool because she tells stories without paper. So I have a question for you. Does anyone here have a favorite superhero? Ooh, what's your favorite superhero? Penny? Okay. Cool. Awesome. I love it. Is that you? Yes. You're setting up my story so well. Anybody ever wish they had a magical superpower? Yeah? Well, I have a story about a kid just like you who found out they had some pretty special magical superpowers. This is a story of a young kid named Knox. Knox was fascinated by superheroes or anybody who had magic, like Wonder Woman or Penny, for instance. She yearned to have powers like that so that she could do special things to help people. Like the boy she often saw sitting all alone at lunch at school, looking very sad. If I had magical powers, I could make him happy, she thought to herself. Or like the little kids who were being picked on by an older kid on the playground. Ooh, my superpowers would straighten her out fast, she thought. And whenever she walked past the empty lot full of weeds near her house, she imagined how magic powers could fix it up so kids could play there. One night, just as Knox was about to fall asleep, she had a very special visitor. A fairy godmother appeared. "Hello, Knox. I'm here to help you," she said. "What have you been wishing for lately?" "Oh," said Knox, "I just wish I had some very special magical superpowers so that I could do very special things." "Well," said the fairy godmother, "I'm happy to give you some magic, Knox, but my wand—" "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you," said Knox. And with that, she fell right to sleep. The next morning when Knox woke up, she remembered what had happened the night before. She jumped out of bed to test out her new magical superpowers. As she walked to school, she realized she'd forgotten to ask how she was supposed to use them. Like, do you have a special word, or do you have to do special wiggly fingers or something? You know, how do you release those powers? But she decided she'd figure it out one way or another. So that day at lunch, she saw that same sad boy sitting all by himself again. "Let's try my magic," she thought. And she wiggled her fingers at him from a distance. Nothing happened. "Maybe I need to be closer," she thought. So she walked closer to him, and he looked up at her. She couldn't help but give him a smile. And his face beamed with his own huge smile. "Aha," thought Knox, "maybe I really do have magic." "Can I join you for lunch?" she asked. "Sure," he said, smiling even bigger. The two of them laughed and talked all during lunchtime. She learned his name was Bobby. He was new and he was kind of shy. Well, Knox and Bobby became good friends. And Bobby smiled a lot more from then on. Now, one day soon after that, Knox was out on the playground with Bobby, and they noticed Karen bullying two younger kids by the swings. She'd read what to do about bullies. Do any of you all know what to do about bullies? Thoughts? Yeah, what do you think? Report them? What do you think? Yeah. Maybe move out of the way? Yeah, well, here's what Knox did with her magical superpowers. She'd never tried to do any of this before, but she knew with her superpowers she was ready. "Come on, Bobby, let's go help those kids." So they walked up to where Karen stood over those children, and they said, "Karen, stop it right now," and she wiggled her fingers at them. "Come on, Robin and Lou. Come with Bobby and me. You're safe with us. After the four of them had left, Knox told them, if she keeps on trying to hurt you, we'll go with you to the office, because that's not okay. But it turns out Karen never bothered those kids again, and the four of them became really good friends. So next, Knox was feeling pretty good about her magical superpowers. How can I use them, she thought, to fix up the old park? Wiggling her fingers didn't work. She still didn't know any magic words. Maybe if I start to work to clean it, something will occur to me, and so she did. She brought trash bags and her new friends to the park, and they started picking up trash that had been left there, and then neighbor kids came by, and they invited them to help, and then their parents saw how much progress they were making, and they came to help, and pretty soon that park started looking better. They even got the city to put in some picnic tables and play equipment. So at the end, once their new park was beautiful and open, they had a great big neighborhood block party to celebrate. After that picnic, Knox fell asleep, exhausted in her bed, but was awakened when she had another visitor. Who do you all think came to visit again? Any guesses? What do you think? The fairy godmother came back. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm so happy to see you, said Knox. I want to thank you for giving me all those magical superpowers. But I tried to tell you, said the fairy godmother, or grandmother. How else could you have made all of those good things happen? Because, see, it turns out my wand wasn't really working that night, and I tried to tell you I didn't give you any magical powers at all. How else could you have made all of those wonderful things happen? Because you already possess powers that you developed yourself. Any guesses about those powers, friends? Love, courage, friends, neighbors. And with those powers, you are making a difference. Thank you for listening to my story today. We're going to sing another song with Singing Resistance as our children and youth who want to go to religious exploration classes follow their teachers out.
Hello, new friends. I'm Shay Sunshine, Singing Resistance. Just like in the story there, you don't need to be an amazing singer to join. You just need the courage to try. With that, we'll sing Future is Calling. We're going to challenge you a little bit on this one. I'm going to change up the words. The first time I'm going to sing Courage with the choir, and then I'll shout out the word for the next verse, okay? So we'll ask you to join in after the first one. Everybody ready? The future is calling for courage. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? The future is calling for courage, and the people will sing along, and the singing will keep us strong. All right, the next verse is joy. The future is calling for joy. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? The future is calling for joy, and the people will sing along, and the singing will keep us strong. All right, last verse is action. The future is calling for action. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? The future is calling for action, and the people will sing along, and the singing will keep us strong.
Good morning. That was beautiful. Thank you. My name is David Massey. I'm proud to be a member of the spiritual care team here at TVUUC. Among other things, we are available, any one of us is available to lend a compassionate and listening ear to whatever is on your mind or in your heart. Call or text us on the pastoral care phone line. That number is on the back page of your order of service or in the weekly newsletter. This is the second Sunday of the month when we provide one or more listening booths in the hallway near the Linda Krager Library. After the service today, stop by and speak with Mike Matfee if you have something you are struggling to put into words. Right now, there are two families in the church who need our support with meals. The Cannon Sisk family with a newborn, and Mike McDonough and Jane Rapparelli. We use the online application, Meal Train, to organize meal delivery. If you do not know the individuals in need, this is a great way to become more deeply involved in the life of this community. Look for information on the Members and Friends Facebook page and in the Joys and Concerns section of this next week's newsletter, or see me or Carolyn Rogers after the service. Also after the service, please visit the caring table in the Greg McKendry Fellowship Hall to add your name to messages of support that will be mailed to those in need of our good wishes. Rosemary Burr and Wendy Sire are volunteering at that table this morning. And by the way, the caring table committee could use 2 or 3 more volunteers. Talk to Wendy to find out how you can be involved. This is the time in our service when we share joys and concerns in the congregation. Joys first today. Each Sunday, we affirm that love is the spirit of this church and service is its law. Last weekend, members of our middle school youth group put those words into action when they volunteered at Second Harvest Food Bank's warehouse in Maryville. They packed 70 boxes with enough food for 140 meals for families in our region who are experiencing food insecurity, who would go hungry otherwise. We are grateful not only to these youth, but also to their volunteer advisors, Krista Schott and Caitlin Whiting. Carolyn Rogers, yes indeed. Carolyn Rogers has a joy to share. After having a not-so-good experience with her first cataract surgery several weeks ago, she got through the second surgery last week with far fewer issues. So watch out for Carolyn, because she can see clearly now. Chance Adams, son of Trish Adams and Ben Hicks, was in the hospital for more than a week as doctors tried to discern what was causing his vomiting and severe headaches that he rated a 10 out of 10 on the pain scale, and he's gotten pretty good at doing those ratings. A recurrence of brain cancer was ruled out, as was meningitis. It was discovered that one eardrum was perforated, will take weeks to heal, and may require surgery. And yet, Trish reports there is still no firm diagnosis for what was causing the headaches. The good news is that Chance was discharged last Wednesday, and his headache is now completely gone. We stand in awe of Chance's bravery and resilience and the inspiration provided to us by Trish and Ben. It was just in mid-February that Bill Cherry learned that his younger brother Andy in Alabama had been diagnosed with liver cancer. A rare, very aggressive tumor had already spread, making him too weak to begin chemo. Bill drove back to Alabama early last week, and Andy died Wednesday, March 5th, while under hospice care. He was 71 years old. Bill, we are keeping you close in our hearts. Mike McDonough, husband of Jane Rapparelli, has been in the hospital for several weeks, suffering a number of debilitating side effects from both chemo and immunotherapy treatments for his esophageal cancer. Mike has now decided not to continue cancer treatments. On Wednesday, he came home where he is receiving hospice services, getting more sleep, and resting comfortably in Jane's care. Mike and Jane, please know that we embrace you with love as we walk beside you on this journey. For all of these joys and concerns, as well as those that are held in private or that are unknown to us, let us join together in singing our congregational response, Sending You Light. The words are printed in your order of service.
As we join our hearts together for a time of prayer and meditation, I invite us to remember our bodies first by taking a couple of breaths with intention. To hold all those joys and concerns from within our community that we just heard, alongside the deep concerns we have for so many places in our world today. Our prayer this morning comes from the words of poet Nikita Gill, who begins with a James Baldwin quote, "Every bombed village is my hometown." And every dead child is my child. Every grieving mother is my mother. Every crying father is my father. Every home turned to rubble is the home I grew up in. Every brother carrying the remains of his brother across borders is my brother. Every sister waiting for a sister who will never come home is my sister. Every one of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. We belong to them, and they belong to us. We hold all the children, all the parents, all the siblings in the wide embrace of love during our silent worship. Every one of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. We belong to them, and they belong to us.
So we're going to sing through this a couple times, and the song is Around. Sorry, it's hard to come out of silent worship to talking. But this next song is just those words, and we're going to do Around. So we'll sing through it a couple times together, and then I'll bring in our second group, or second part on this side. Everyone, oh every one of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. They belong to us, and we belong to them. Everyone, oh, every one of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. They belong to us, and we belong to them. Everyone, oh, every one of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. They belong to us, and we belong to them. Everyone, oh, every one of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. Keep going. Everyone, oh, every one of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. They belong to us, and we belong to them.
We're about to sing again in just a moment as the offering is gratefully received to support the work of Justice Knox. The ways to give are in your order of service.
What a beautiful congregation. Next one is No One is Getting Left Behind. So this one we're just going to jump right into, and feel free to join us when you feel comfortable. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together, never get there at all. We get there together, never get there at all. We get there together, never get there at all. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind We get there together, never get there at all. We get there together, never get there at all. One more time. No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. No one is getting left behind this time. We get there together, never get there at all. We get there together, never get there at all. We get there together, never get there at all.
I have two readings, very brief readings for you all this morning to ground my reflection. The first comes from Luke 13, verses 20 and 21. And again he said, "To what should I compare the kingdom of God? It is like yeast that a woman took and mixed in with 3 measures of flour until all of it was leavened." And the second comes from Reverend Howard Thurman, who was the spiritual leader of many, and spiritual mentor of many of the leaders of the civil rights movement of our country in the 1950s and 60s. He said, "I believe with all my heart that our task is twofold. Seek how we may release to the full our greatest spiritual powers, that there may be such a grand swell of spiritual energy that existing systems will be upset from sheer dynamic, and make whatever temporary adjustments as may prove helpful in relieving intolerable situations until there is genuine uprooting." This quote from Howard Thurman was one of the first things I heard when I got to Minneapolis in late January. I was sitting in the sanctuary of a very large Presbyterian church with several hundred other faith leaders of many traditions and denominations. But of course, the very first thing we did, before we heard any speeches or got any marching orders, was to sing together. And we sang just like we have here today. No sheet music, no words printed or projected. We were simply taught and led from the front of the room. And there's not another way I know of in the world to unify a group of strangers faster than singing together. So that was the main thing I wanted us to experience today. That's the main thing I wanted to bring back from my time in Minneapolis, and we have already done it. But I have a few other things I want to share. I went to Minneapolis because I responded to a call after the killing of Renee Good. Multi-faith organizers in Minneapolis asked clergy, faith leaders from around the country to join them for a few days of learning and witness and action. Now, this call was explicitly linked to another famous call for clergy to come, the one that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. put out for faith leaders in 1965 to join him in Selma, Alabama after Bloody Sunday. And many UU ministers, I know most of you all know this, many UU ministers responded to that call, including the most famous one, Reverend James Reeb, and he's famous because he lost his life responding to that call. Well, this call drew over 200 Unitarian Universalist ministers to Minneapolis. In the space of 6 days, they organized this in 6 days. That tells you something about the infrastructure that is on the ground there. We said yes, we raised money, we found all the warm clothes that we might need because it was really cold. We packed our clergy uniforms, important to be visible. We got added to a signal chat for on-the-ground communication, and we arrived in Minneapolis grounded in the value of solidarity, trusting that simply showing up we could be useful, and trusting the lead of the local organizers. Some of you contributed to my being able to say yes to this call, and for that I am grateful, and I carried all of you with me. What I want to say this morning is that none of us were superheroes, and I have to say I witnessed some superpowers in action there. In fact, when I left Minneapolis after just a few days, I left feeling more actively hopeful than I have in a long time. And this despite the fact that indiscriminate arrests were still happening. When I was in Minneapolis in January, they reached and surpassed 2,000 detained people just in 1 month. And despite the fact that Alex Preddy was killed while we were there. But today, rather than focus on the horrors that were happening and are still happening there in other places, I want to focus on the powers. What kind of government power was and still is functioning to implement, in this case, the scapegoating and terrorizing of immigrant neighbors and their allies? How is that power functioning in general in our country right now? And what were the people's superpowers that I was privileged to just experience and witness and learn from and participate in a tiny bit? So today is going to be a little bit of a teaching sermon. I'm just going to let you know that. Political scientists like Erica Chenoweth at Harvard tell us that we are in a time of what is called authoritarian breakthrough. Is that term familiar to folks? Authoritarian breakthrough or democratic backsliding? She has studied authoritarian regimes all over the world through many different time periods, has studied how they develop and how they are successfully resisted or not. So some of what I'm sharing with you now was part of the training that we received in Minneapolis, and a lot of it is available through an organization called Freedom Trainers. I invite you to check out the Freedom Trainers website. There's a lot of really great material that is available for free use with any organization. Authoritarianism is a very specific kind of power. It is a system, it is not just one person, that concentrates power in a small group of people who are not accountable and who maintain that power through repression and threats or acts of violence. These authoritarian regimes, the political scientists tell us, often emerge over years of efforts that weaken the foundation of democracy. And these regimes share a common playbook. So I'm going to list out some of the common playbook themes. And if you have an example that comes to mind of something that is happening in our country right now that fits this part of the playbook, just raise your hand, okay? So the first one is direct investigation against critics. The second one is giving license to law breaking. The third is regulatory retaliation. The fourth is deployment of the military domestically. The fifth is federal law enforcement overreach. The sixth is the autocrat won't leave. And finally, and I think this is so important, they weaponize fear of subgroups to keep us divided and apart. In Minneapolis, the most visible weaponization of fear of subgroups was happening with the immigrant community, but that's not the only one, and we know that. The good news, and there is good news, is that we are still in the window of time when we can resist, save our democracy, if we continue to build a mass movement of civil resistance. So when I say civil resistance, what do I mean by that? It is more than symbolic actions and good protest signs, although it does include that. It is nonviolent, non-cooperation with the authoritarian regime. It is the superpower of the people. Another way to think about it is organized love. When enough of the people resist an authoritarian regime in a sustained and disciplined way through nonviolent civil resistance, most of the time the people win. That's what history has shown us. Gene Sharp, who's one of the people I studied years ago when I was a peace studies student in undergraduate school. He's a political theorist. He also has studied nonviolent resistance around the world. He says, by themselves, rulers cannot collect taxes, enforce repressive laws and regulations, keep trains running on time, prepare national budgets, direct traffic, manage ports, print money, repair roads, keep markets supplied with food, make steel, build rockets, train the police and army, issue postage stamps, or even milk a cow. People provide these services through a variety of organizations and institutions. If people would stop providing these skills, the ruler could not rule. In Minneapolis, there were and continue to be many, many, many different examples of this kind of civil resistance, organized love on display. They generally fall into three categories. I want to share a little bit of what I saw and experienced. So the first category is symbolic actions, which, as I said, are not the end-all be-all, but they are important. Hounding companies like Target that are headquartered in Minneapolis, asking them to publicly denounce the ICE surge in their city. I myself got to participate in a great sing-in at the Target headquarters while I was there. Over 100 clergy got arrested at the airport, targeting the private company that flies detainees south to the detention centers in Texas. And on January 23rd, over 50,000 people marched through the streets in negative 20-degree weather, marched through the streets and then filled the basketball arena there for a rally. And it was joyful. It was joyful. So these actions raise awareness, and they help us feel connected and powerful, and they put pressure on targets to act in a certain way. So the second category I'll share with you is economic and social non-cooperation. That included things like the day of fasting and prayer, when hundreds of businesses in downtown Minneapolis closed for the day, kids stayed home from school, people stayed out of work. It includes publishing the hotels and car rental agencies that were renting rooms and vehicles to ICE, calling for other people to boycott them until they stop. And then the third category I'll lift up is visionary non-cooperation. What do I mean by visionary non-cooperation? I mean building alternatives to disrupt or directly challenge the current systems. In Minneapolis, we heard about and experienced many, many examples of sustained and organized community care. The amount of mutual aid that has been organized in the Twin Cities since the surge started at the end of last year is staggering. I don't know if anyone has attempted to add up the numbers. It continues to be. I just got something from a dear friend who lives there asking for continued donations through the schools for rent support for families who have not been able to work. But we're talking about everything from getting groceries to families, to providing children rides to schools, to raising now hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for direct rent relief for immigrant families. Here's the thing I want to say. The neighborhood watch efforts, which have gotten so much attention, are also a form of non-cooperation. That legal observing network that has grown up there, that is a form of non-cooperation. People talked about the fact that they had a moment of realizing that no one else was coming to keep them safe. No one else was coming to save them. And so it was up to everyday, regular people to keep each other safe. When you've got 3,000 federal agents and a local police force of 600 people, it was up to the regular, everyday people to keep each other safe. So that looked like white parents standing watch for ICE during school drop-off and pickup times. That looked like incredible networks of communication, neighborhood by neighborhood, to alert neighbors when ICE was on their street. And that looked like documenting ICE enforcement in real time, not alone, but together in networks of people working together. It was together, not doing what you were expected to do. It was saying, no, these people, these immigrant people, they belong to us. And we belong to them. You will not divide us. And it is bearing witness, telling the truth, and refusing the lies is a very important part of non-cooperation. You know, one of the things that struck me so deeply when I was there was this sense that there was no one in charge. There were things happening all over the city, in neighborhoods and labor organizations and businesses and schools. There was nobody in charge. It was very decentralized. There were many, many different ways for people to participate. And yet there was also a sense of coordination and communication and clarity about the purpose. Because thousands of people had been trained as legal observers, and trained about some of the material that I just shared with you about the authoritarian playbook. So people and organizations may not have agreed on everything, but they were finding purpose together to build power. And nonviolence was a moral choice for some, and for others it was a strategic choice, and for everybody it is a discipline. It is a discipline, because we know when we resist nonviolently, we have a greater chance of success. So all these ways of resistance that I named, and there are so many more, they are our superpowers. For us as Unitarian Universalists, non-cooperation with violence and oppression is just another name for living our faith. We are the people who put love at the center, organized love with courage and community. And here's the thing. The authoritarian powers are not always going to be so clearly identifiable as a masked and armed ICE agent on our street. We know this in Tennessee. Tennessee consistently ranks in the top 10 states with the most total number of deportations. The most total numbers, I'm not talking about a percentage of the immigrant population. That means we are up there with places like California and New York that have huge populations of immigrants. As UT professor Megan Conley says, immigration enforcement in Tennessee is routine, it is commonplace, and it is invisible. In 2025, the Knox County Jail saw almost 3,500 immigrant detainees come through. It was a huge increase from the previous year. One reason for the increase is because the federal administration has removed any prioritization of who they seek for removal. Anyone, whether following the rules or not, whether picked up because of a busted taillight or a violent crime, anyone and everyone is subject to detention and deportation. The human impact right here is staggering. And I just want to say clearly, there's so much more to say about this, but the reason immigration enforcement in our state is so invisible is because it is completely enmeshed with local law enforcement. Just this week, I heard a local immigrant advocate tell me a story that happened just a few days ago of a woman with a 6-month-old and an 18-month-old. She needed to go out to get formula for her babies, but her boyfriend had taken the debit card. She found him hanging out with his brother, and she got mad. I'm a mom, I would get mad too. She needed formula for her babies. But the brother called the police, and she was arrested for domestic disturbance. Because our county law enforcement is completely enmeshed with federal immigration enforcement, she is now being held at the Knox County Jail for deportation. I haven't heard if she's been transferred to the detention center in Louisiana yet. And now there is a 6-month-old and an 18-month-old separated from their mom. That is one story. I want to say to you all today that all the efforts of organized love coming through this congregation already in solidarity with our neighbors matter. The years of weekly witness at the ICE office, they matter. The collection of resources for direct support to neighbors, it matters. And the next one, by the way, is here on March 22nd, mutual aid collection for our immigrant neighbors. The showing up to rallies and county commission meetings, it all matters. And these times are asking all of us to extend further, to unleash more courage, more community, more love, to invite more people into this organized love. I know this weekend our own Mark Mahundro and other UUs from around the state were in Nashville at an organizing revival, and I hope they will bring that learning back to us. And just a couple of weeks ago, our Tennessee UU Community Action Network held a training on risk assessment, safety, and security. In order to effectively use our superpowers of love, we get trained to understand the stakes, to act together, and to strategically risk more of ourselves. One writer in Minneapolis said, "Turn anger into rolls or it devours itself." Minnesota did not ask people to feel more, it asked them to do something specific. He writes, "There was no spectator class. If you were angry, you were handed a task. If you couldn't be visible, you were still essential. Money counted, logistics counted, quiet labor counted, watching the kids counted, sharing information counted, delivering food counted. Just standing there and paying attention and not blinking counted." This mattered because movements collapse when people are allowed to turn outrage into guilt instead of action. These superpowers of organized love are like the small bit of yeast that a woman kneads into the bread dough. The thing about yeast in the dough is that for a while it seems like nothing is happening. Maybe for a really long time. How could something so small and invisible produce something as magnificent as a nourishing loaf of fresh baked bread. You have to tend it and feed it, knead it, and give it time until finally our full spiritual powers are unleashed, released, so that, as Howard Thurman said, there is such a grand swelling, a rising up, that existing systems are uprooted. We are the yeast, we are everywhere, and we can rise. May it be so. Amen.
So our closing song has 6 lines of text, and I'll be asking this side of the room to keep some of that looping while the other side of the room adds some more on. So I'll tell you those before we start the music. So the first line is, it doesn't have to be like this. And you'd repeat that a lot. You'd repeat it too, but then I'd say, today, another world is possible. Hopefully I'll say that when we sing it too. And then the next verse is, luchamos por la libertad. We fight for liberty. Luchamos por la libertad. Can I hear that? Luchamos por la libertad. Yes, and then on this side it will become, aquí luchamos por la libertad. Here we fight for liberty. And then the last is, they didn't know that we were seeds. Let's hear that. They didn't know that we were seeds. And then on this side, but we're here. They tried to bury us. They didn't know that we were seeds. We're here, though they tried to bury us. Okay, help me out. So first, we're going to say, we are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. Come on, we are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. It didn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. Today, another world is possible. Today, another world is possible. Today, another world is possible. Today, luchamos por la libertad. Luchamos por la libertad. Luchamos por la libertad. Luchamos por la libertad. Luchamos por la... Aquí. Luchamos por la libertad. Aquí. Luchamos por la libertad. ¿Por qué luchamos? Aquí. Luchamos por la libertad. Aquí. They didn't know that we were seeds. They didn't know that we were seeds. Come on, y'all. They didn't know that we were seeds. They didn't know that we were seeds. We're here. We're here. Well, they tried to bury us. We're here. Though they tried to bury us. We're here, though they tried to bury us. We're seeds. They didn't know that we were seeds. Didn't know that we were seeds. We're here.
And now may the love that is within us and the love that flows between us join with that greater love that holds us all. May it rise up and serve the forces of life today and in the days to come. Blessed be, and amen. And now, as our last act of worship, I invite you to use your superpower of meeting a neighbor.
I'm in work right now.